That's weird. Okay. It might be due to I can't share the link on Facebook. I think it might be due to YouTube has recently changed over to it's been doing it for a while, but it's finally fully changed over to, I think it's called Studio version, so it's kind of a different platform or something, and I can't now share. I have to do something, I think, to be able to share the link, so I'll have to read about that another time and tick some boxes and agree to this and agree to that. I'll just sign out of Facebooky. Anyway, I can't share it today, but I am live on YouTube. As I am most Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, it must be to do with YouTube. I meant to look into it today, but I forgot all about it until now, and then I thought, oh yeah, it's changed its platform. Anyway, yeah. One of those things that happen. Lower camera. So welcome to the weekly stream. As I was saying, I do these every Thursday at 8:30 in the evening, and that's UK time. And you watch, sorry. And you watch on this channel on YouTube, and you ask questions through Skype. I also will do a monthly silent sitting meeting, which is offline. And I'm doing it this Sunday at 10 a.m. So I used to do it for an hour and a half, and now I've reduced it to an hour. So it's half an hour of silent sitting, which I think is probably more like less challenging for people. An hour was maybe too much, so I've done it for half an hour instead, and then half an hour is left for questions and answers. So it's an hour in total. And it worked really well last month, so hopefully it flows as easily this month as well. So you can join that through going to my website under upcoming events, I believe, and it's all written there how to join that event. So it's this Sunday at 10 a.m. UK time. Yeah. So, non-duality talk. How exciting on a Thursday evening during lockdown. Non-duality talk. We put a hammock up today, a hammock on our balcony. It was lovely. The kids really enjoyed it. They were in it for hours this afternoon. So that was nice. A mini holiday. Trying to hide my armpit hair if I have any hair. I'm sure I don't. I'm sure I'm hairless. But just in case there's some odd hairs that are flying around. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hopefully you can hear me. There's no green light on the microphone. I'm hoping you can hear me. Let me check. Let me go onto YouTube and check. Am I being heard? Let's see. Oh, there's a squeaking sound. Or maybe, yeah, sorry. I have two screens on, I suppose. So, yes, I'll close that one down. So I'll just sit for a little bit and then I'll introduce the subject of the day, and then open for any questions. I look here a lot because I have this had a leak in my roof like late last year, and they've fixed it and it's been plastered over, but I haven't yet painted it. There's a big brownish patch on my ceiling that I keep staring at. I'll show you. Maybe you can see it if I lift up there. Oh, the light's shining too bright. There you go. You can see on the ceiling there. I keep staring at it. I must paint this. I must paint this roof, this ceiling. I can't help but look over. I can hear my children laughing and playing upstairs. Makes me smile. So the title of the talk this evening is None of This Is Your Business, I believe. So beautiful. That's so beautiful. So this life is happening. This life is appearing and flowing. And it seems to add up. It seems to be joined together. So there seems to be patterns, and it seems to be like every day you wake up and it's the same house you live in, the same people in your household, the same furniture, objects in each room. Like there's a memory of those things. So there seems to be order and a consistency, maybe is the word. But we as identification believe that all means something, that's all stitched up and it all means and is heading towards something in the future. We identify with that character that appears. So that character saying, yes, I know this home. I know these people in my household. I know this furniture. I've seen it before. I've thought these thoughts before of my past and my future. Yes, this is real. Yes, this is my life. This is my reality. And it really feels like that. As if that one moving through time, this story character who seems to appear, it seems as if that's who you are. So that's lived, life is lived through that character, lived through that storyline. And so then all life is taken personally, and all life means something. Everything that happens means something significant. And it's all like added together into the basket of me and my life, me and my story, what's happened to me. I have no idea where this is heading. the point I was trying to make is that none of this is reality. None of this is true. None of this is who you are. It's an appearance appearing. This appearance of life appears with this character, with these memories, with these future projections, with this story of who it is and what life is about and what's happening in its life. But none of that is who you are. That isn't true. That isn't real. And the suffering comes in humans when this story of someone is like put on and lived through. You could say consciousness or nothing lives through this story of someone, lives through this character of someone, as if it's having a personal experience of life. But when that's who you actually are, and it feels as if that's who you are, it's suffering, it's limiting. You are this character in this crazy story. This character in this crazy reality of duality, ups and downs, get it, lose it. This constant shifting reality. And you are someone living in that, trying to find peace in that, trying to find contentment and love and home in that constant changing pain, pleasure reality. And this is suffering. Living as if you are someone. Living through the identified mind. Whereas in reality, this is not happening to someone. That character, that storyline is appearing, but it isn't to someone. It isn't about someone. That someone isn't who you are. Like a movie on the screen, it isn't who you are. So there's a watching of that movie, but you're not the character in that movie. When you're watching a film, it's so clear you aren't in that film. It's a movie playing on a screen and you're on the chair watching it. You may get involved a bit and you might cry when the character cries, or you might be happy when they're happy and go along with the character, but you know, it's known you aren't that character. Whereas this character that happens in the human, it's so, it just feels so real that is who I am. It's really been put on, zipped up. I am this character in this machine. Like a three-dimensional movie. And what's being spoken about in these non-duality talks and meetings and retreats and books and all these things, what's being pointed to is that that isn't who you are. You aren't that character. You aren't that one in this movie called life. You aren't the one living. That isn't you. Therefore, this has nothing to do with you. It's none of your business what happens here. It's none of your business what the character is or isn't. Like the mind taking on the job of fixing life so that it can feel at home, it can find happiness. Believing its happiness is in this flow, in this appearance. And that's the dilemma for that character, for that identified mind. It believes fixing something in this world, fixing something in the experience, in the human, will deliver it what it's longing for, which is home. It will find happiness, it will find love in this reality. But it's not discovered in this dream. It isn't discovered like on a personal level, on the human level. There's a freedom beyond the human. It's the freedom of what you are, of what this is. So it's a beautiful, splendid pointing back to what you are, beyond that character, beyond that storyline. You are free. You aren't bound to that character. You aren't bound to the story of that human. You are free. And this is called waking up or awakening. This awakening to what you are. And it seems to be a gradual thing. It seems to take time, as we humans call time. We count it in years. It seems to take time, but not time for you to be what you are. That's already the case. Time for the identification with that storyline to dissipate. I love that word, dissipate. Yeah, not always, but that's the way that I would describe it, like a gentle and harsh gradual awakening. a brutal a brutal gradual awakening. But this is always the case. There's always this freedom. I've never known anything like this. I've never known anything like it. This beauty. It feels like such a blessing that life is happening, that this happens. I think it's such a blessing as humans that we get to experience identification with mind and then the discovery of who we are. I think it's just the highest thing any animal can experience, and animals don't tend to experience this. There's no identification with mind that happens that we know of in animals. But we get to get lost in the dream of mind. So beautiful. We get to wake up out of that dream, shining, ever present, ever free. And then living, just life, just the character, the human, or whatever it is, just living, just life happening. What a beauty. What a friggin' beauty. So you're welcome to ask any questions and you do that through my Skype address, Rebekah Maroon. I'll just go online. Why aren't Hi Lola. Rebekah! Two, 1, 1, 2. So I'll just sit here for a bit longer to see if any questions come in, and because I'm enjoying sitting here. This has nothing to do with you. It's just happening. It's just happening. You don't need to plan or worry about the next thought, whether you raise your arm or not, the next impulse. It just happens all by itself. And this is life. This is life. It's like the mind got a life of its own. It like took on the job of everything. It got identified with. It's a computer. It seeks out problems. It tries to fix things. It tries to control and plan things and prepare and protect. That's his job. But when it became a believed in thing, he really believed in its fear, its projections, its creativity. So the mind does its thing, but it's not personal. It doesn't need to be personal. You aren't limited to the mind. You aren't limited to thoughts and thinking. I can't read that question, it's so long. I'll get the gist of it. Must everything fall away for the self to, let's say, kneel, surrender to this? Must everything fall away? I'm not sure in the way you mean that, but everything does fall away in a way, like you lose everything, all your ideas, all your beliefs. Maybe not lost as in they disappear, but you lose them in the reality of them being true. So you lose everything in that way. None of it is true. None of it is who you are. all the beliefs you carry as true, all the ideas you carry as true. Most are uneven, not even conscious. A lot of it's unconscious. They seem to drive the person. They drive the seeking. They drive the sense of missing something or sense of needing something. These hidden unconscious beliefs and feelings that have been ignored or suppressed or just not acknowledged. So everything has to come up and be seen through or lost. So in that way, you lose everything. But none of it was who you are anyway. You just felt like that's who you were. You were this made up entity. So what is lost wasn't actually true anyway. You just like made up that character, made up that story of you. Fear, it's a fear, like the me has to lose all to find freedom. Yeah, you're scared of losing you, this identity. Like the death of the death of you, the death of the person, the death of that identity that seems to give you, it seems to give you some kind of safety, knowing who you are, the sense of being someone solid and real. It offers a level of safety, but actually it doesn't. But it seems that way. It gives you a position, something to be, to stand upon. But it's suffering. But you know what it is. So in knowing something, it offers a bit of safety. Even though it can be hell, it's safety. You know it, you're familiar with it. We often do that with lots of things, actually. Things that are bad for us, we're familiar with it, so we tend to cling and hold on to things like that. So a lot of fear is bound to come up. And at some point, this strength seems to appear. This strength to be able to just bear everything, like just bear everything. In a way, there's no choice in that. Like, you're always bearing everything because this is what you are, everything. But oftentimes the mind's about escaping fear, escaping uncomfortable feelings. But this starts to really eat you up, eat the identity up. And in that, there's strength of what you truly are, which isn't a thing. It's been a lie. We've been living a lie and suffering the consequences of that. Yes, losing me, who I believe myself to be, but also practically the money, the career I'm chasing, to chase a financial more independent position. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like survival is a really important thing for any animal to survive, to have, in our case, money, a house, food. Well, money to buy food. Um, yeah, that's a big fear. How will I provide? How will I survive? That's a natural thing to have, to want to provide for yourself, your family, to want to survive and live. I guess a living organism, it wants to live, it wants to survive. But that's not your job as well. It's not your job. What a burden to have to like survive and provide for yourself. What a burden. Fucking hell. Like, you didn't choose to be born, you didn't choose to exist as this seeming human. You didn't choose that. So why would you have the job now to provide? It's kind of crazy. You could say this is about trusting. Like, this is again this sinking in, this this trust, this strength that comes. None of this is your doing. None of it's your business. So beautiful. Like handing it all over. Like, it's so beautiful. I'm not even saying that as like you should hand it over, you should trust. It's not really a personal thing that you can do. It's just what starts to open up this strength, this trust, this. Like this resting. This dissolving back. Like we're living on the edge, like alert, trying to like survive, but actually this sinking back in and trusting that you, this idea of you, didn't create any of this. You aren't producing those thoughts, those impulses, those actions. So then how are you providing food and money or anything else? You can't even choose a thought, it just appears. So how can you choose a career or a job? It's such a trippy thing, this life, this human life. You cheered me up. Yeah, what a burden. Hi, John. So this is the good news, that you aren't what you think you are. You are free. You aren't limited. And that this has nothing to do with you. What freedom. What freedom. So thank you for joining. As I was saying before, I'm going to be doing a silent sitting online meeting on Sunday at 10. So you can join me for that if you feel compelled to. Okay, have a good week. I shall see you soon. Bye.